Good morning, girls. This is Teacher Felisa. Welcome to our English class. Materials needed for this discussion: your book, your pen, and your notebook. Today's discussion is on making inferences. It is on your literary companion book on pages 250 to 251. Our objectives for today: characterize inference and make inference based on an article read. Now, let's first define what is an inference. Okay, an inference class is the conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reasoning. Say, for example, I infer that there is a ghost in my house based on the evidence that I have seen objects moving on their own. Meaning to say, because of your observation, okay? Because you observe that objects are moving, so you conclude or you infer that there is a ghost in your house. So that is making an inference. Another example, if my best friend stops talking to me, I can infer that he is angry at me, or he thinks I'm crazy and doesn't want to be seen with me. What does this mean? You conclude that if your friend stops talking to you, he is angry to you. Now, when you read class, you need to make inferences about things happening in the story. Say, for example, if I read that the main character hates old people, but then later becomes friends with an old person, I can infer that a theme of this story relates to challenging your prejudices. Now, take note on this class that an inference is not, okay, take note, is not based solely on your opinion. It is based on evidence. In a story, everything you read in the text, what characters say or do, what events happen in the plot or whatsoever, can be used as the basis for making an inference, okay? So it is not just on your opinion. Say, for example, if the text says, the main character hates old people, so what can you infer here? Okay, you can infer that the main character has a mean and childish personality. Now, class, if in your mathematics and science you have your formula, so as in English, we can say that making an inference can be thought of as reading between the lines of what you read or observe. In the article King of the River of Giants, the author says that Nizar Ibrahim is looking for the fossil hunter. Does he find him? The author does not explicitly answer this question. Readers must make inferences to fill in the gaps about what is not said in the text. So let's read this text and let's make an inference later. He was about to give up his quest when he saw a man walked by that he thought he recognized. He had a mustache. I was sitting in a cafe, quite ready to throw in the towel. He remembers, but I saw him out of the corner of my eye and ran after him. The pair talked, but the fossil digger balked at revealing the location of his find. Alright, in this excerpt that we've read, we've learned that Ibrahim sees a man he recognizes and runs after him. Now, the author says that the pair talked, and he refers to the man as the fossil digger. Now, these details help you infer that the man Ibrahim ran after and talked to was the person he was looking for. Alright, so let's see this table. We have the textual evidence. What I know, meaning to say it is already implicitly detailed in the story or in the article, and the inference. Okay, the text evidence. He saw a man walked by that he thought he recognized and ran after him. The pair talked, but the fossil digger balked. Now, what you know already that is already stated in the story or in the article. Ibrahim wants to talk to the fossil hunter. He also recognizes a man and begins talking with him. The author refers to the man as the fossil digger. Alright, so based on the textual evidence and what you know already about the article, now your inference is Ibrahim found the fossil hunter, the person he had been looking for. Now let's try to make an inference on this excerpt. Let's read the following. What does Ibrahim mean when he says Africa is the final frontier in paleontology? Use textual evidence to complete the chart. Okay, this is the text. Africa just happens to be, I think, the final frontier in paleontology, he says. Today, it's an ocean of sand with temperatures that can reach 52 degrees Celsius, that is equivalent to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. But 100 million years ago, it was a huge river system teeming with giant fish and even bigger predators like Spinosaurus. Ibrahim says he plans to keep exploring. I believe that there are many more treasures out there to be found. Will we discover even bigger predatory dinosaurs? I don't know, but we've only found a small percentage of the dinosaurs that once lived. Okay, so based from the excerpt we've read, let's try to fill in this table. Okay, textual evidence is given. What we are to do is to fill in what I know and inference. Okay, textual evidence. Africa, the final frontier in paleontology. Then Abraham says he plans to keep exploring. Then there are many more treasures out there to be found. Okay, what I know or what you know that is already stated in the excerpt. Okay, here that the frontier usually refers to something that is unexplored and that paleontology is the study of fossils. Now, based on these textual evidence and what you already know, what is or what inference can you make or conclusion can you make? Okay, Ibrahim means that Africa is mostly an unexplored place and that is a place where more dinosaur fossils are to be found. Next, let's read the excerpt in the first column of this chart and then add what you know and make an inference. Okay, textual evidence. Ibrahim shakes his head a bit when asked a pop culture question. How would he handicap a battle between a Spinosaurus and a T-Rex? But he replies patiently, knowing people are curious about such a match-up. Now what you know is, when a person shakes his or her head at a question, he or she probably thinks that the question is silly. In popular culture, movies or other shows about dinosaurs are based on fantasy and not reality. And inference is Ibrahim thinks that it's silly to imagine battles between dinosaurs, but he appreciates people's interest in such concepts. Okay, this is our lesson for today. Thank you for listening.